Hello.
Hello.
That has to be the fastest we've been able to start one of these. Wow. That was amazing. Um, anyway, hey everyone, welcome back to the AstoundCast, episode number 43.
Yeah, because last week was 42 and there was no
The
meaning of
meaning of
life.
life. Yes. Or rather, lack thereof.
Yeah, same thing.
Right, the reason I'm titling this what I'm titling it, well, you'll find out in a second.
Oh no.
Um, yeah,
Oh no.
this one's going to be quite theory based, but first, gonna ask as I usually do, how's your week been?
Week's been pretty good being back up here. Quite relaxing. A lot of Pokemon, I must say.
I can imagine. And I know, because you've been playing a lot.
Since I've been down here, I've just been editing and playing Pokemon for this first week.
That's fair. Which games you been playing specifically?
Literally Pokemon Arceus for the entire time.
Ah, fair enough.
Because if I play Arceus and finish Arceus, and then I'll be able to get something in a Diamond and Pearl. So then I'm finally done with that, and I
Oh
can get on to
yeah,
something.
right. Forgot about that.
Yeah, that's tiddly thing that I can't get one Pokemon.
Yeah, that's very annoying.
But my issue is I'm trying to find one specific Pokemon at the moment, and it won't spawn. Like I've played through the entire thing. I'm on the
Ouch.
post game, and it still won't come up.
Oof. That is actually really painful.
Yeah, I know.
Oof, that is bad.
Yeah, so I'm stuck until I can get that.
Well, fingers crossed it pops up for you soon.
I'm hoping so. Anyway, how's your week been?
Honestly, not too bad. Finished work this week for like the next week and a half. Well, week now, but Monday was pretty good. Wednesday was very busy. Thursday, what did I do Thursday? Oh yeah, slept like a log.
Hmm.
Thursday was my reboot day.
I mean, fair, honestly.
Yeah. Friday, I actually went up to the Horseshoe Pass for the first time this year to see
Oh,
a
right.
ton of old motorbikes and cars. There was so many.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you had BMW bikes, Kawasaki's, Ducatis, up basically any bike you could imagine, and there was a lot of very nice cars there as well. Bunch of old Triumph bikes and cars, and I can't really remember much else. Whoops.
Oh.
But on the way back, I did make a little stop to Riffin for a very interesting reason. Okay, story time. Formula One,
Okay.
mid 70s. For the first time, a Welsh driver has entered the sport.
Hmm.
Yep, Wales had a Formula One driver, and he was only from Ruthin.
No.
And yep, indeed, Tom Price, his name was, and actually, funny enough, there was a Triumph fan club. I think. Basically, they were a Triumph club, and one of the people who owned one of the Triumphs actually knew Tom Price
Hmm.
back when he was an F1 driver. Um, and at one point during the 1975 championship, Tom Price was leading.
Seems about
He
right.
was he was leading the championship, and he actually got to pretty large heights because I think in that same season he was at Lotus partnering the legendary Mario Andretti.
Wow.
Yep. He was pretty good, but tragically, things didn't stay going good for long. As South African Grand Prix 1977. Oh, this is a tough one. A driver, a driver's car caught fire. He had to very quickly jump out because, of course, with the Nicky Lauda incident the year before, drivers were quite scared of catching fire now, understandably. And then a marshal came running across the track, and unfortunately, as this all happened so quick, a yellow flag had not been waved, so all the cars were going at race speed.
Oh no.
And unfortunately for this marshal and Tom Price's car ended up hitting this marshal. Both were killed instantly.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I actually went into Ruthin to visit his memorial.
All right.
Yeah, it's a massive plaque on a wall. I don't remember where exactly in Ruthin it is, but it's a huge plaque with um, a portrait of him and two of his cars either side of him. I think one of them was his Lotus, and the other one was, I can't remember what team he was with when he died. I know it wasn't Lotus because it was a white car, and of course, back in them days, Lotus was running the John Player Special black and gold livery. Um, and it did have in English and Welsh the tragedy that was his death. Like it explained the story of how he died, and
Mm.
the footage does exist on YouTube. Although I would strongly advise viewer discretion because it is wow, it's bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that because I'd
No,
rather not.
I would not recommend it. Again, viewer discretion definitely advised. If you're gonna watch at your own risk because it is rather horrible. Um, but yeah, and it's actually 45 years since he passed away. Um,
Damn.
I, I can't remember what the exact date was, but I know it was in April, so it's pretty close to when he um oh no, 5th of March 1977, so it's just over 45 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And to be honest, because I've got F1 TV now, I am able to watch some of his races. So chances are I might end up doing that.
You'll have to let me know how that goes then.
Yeah. Um yeah. Anyway, that was my week thus far. Also want to ask, how's your Easter been?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Easter hasn't actually been anything. It has been treated as if it were a normal day. I haven't even had an Easter egg this year because I didn't really want one.
Fair enough. Honestly, I can say the same, except I've had two.
Yeah, I'm waiting for like tomorrow or like Tuesday when there's gonna have the Easter eggs on sale, so then it'll be half
Yes,
price.
that is a plan.
Yeah, you take it like you take Valentine's, where all the chocolates and other stuff, or like Mother's Day and Father's Day, all the stuff for there will just be on sale for like half price or whatever, and you just go and get your fill.
You see, you get me. Like, yes. But yeah, for the most part, it's just been the same for me, except I've got a Munchies and a Maltese as Easter egg. Admittedly, I'm about
Like
halfway through my Munchies one.
if you're
Yeah,
struggling to just eat the chocolate yourself, what I'd suggest is if you want to add some fruit in there, melt down the egg, and then dunk some like
yeah.
grapes or strawberries in them, or marshmallows if you're in that way inclined.
Roxanne,
Yeah.
this is me we're talking about.
Hey, I'm at least suggesting to get your five a day in.
Yeah, it is a pure miracle that it's only half of the Easter egg gone. I'm gonna be honest.
To be fair, if you didn't have
I
an Easter egg today, I would have assumed that you're not feeling well.
oh no, like honestly. I'm actually shocked that half of it's still there. I'm proud of myself. Like, that is progress from last year.
I mean, I struggle to eat like my Easter eggs. I can barely get through. I don't even touch them like the first day I get them.
Really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
don't. And then I just leave them, and then it turns to like a couple months down the line, and then I've still just got unopened Easter eggs, so I just give them to other people.
I'll admit that is probably gonna be me now.
Look, if
Well,
I
not
knew
so
you
much
a
as I'm.
couple of years earlier, I would have done that.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm just really damn shocked with myself because I just realised now. Oh my god, half of it is still there. What on earth?
And that's why you only have two.
Yeah, exactly. You see, you get me. You know me too well.
Ah, so next for your birthday instead, I know what to get you now.
Oh,
If I told you, it wouldn't be a birthday present, now would it?
just do not make it bananas.
Okay, April Fool's next year sorted as well.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Uh, anyway, now moving back to F1, this is where my first theory comes in because there was no race this weekend. Sad face.
No.
But I'm going to predict, and I'm going to be, and this is going to sound mental, but I'm going to predict next year's driver lineup.
Right, any conspiracy theorists who are going to be listening to this either now or in the future, please take this to heart, and I will make sure I keep a copy of this on me at all times.
Like, and I do have reasonings for each of these teams. So I'll start off with the current Constructors' Championship order from last year. So
Mm.
I'm going to start off with last year's last place team. Probably not going to be the case this year, but Haas. Now, Haas, for me, is going to be Kevin Magnussen, yet again,
Yeah.
partnering Callum Eilert.
Oh.
Yeah, Mick Schumacher's going to be gone from that team. I'll get to why later on. But
Mm-hmm.
Callum Eilert, I think he'll return from IndyCar to the main FIA because IndyCar is FIA governed, but like I think he will return to the Formula Series in Formula One finally because he so deserves an F1 seat, partnering Kevin Magnussen at Haas. Now, moving on to the ninth place team last year, Williams, and my prediction for this team, although this could take effect this year depending on something I'll get onto in a second. Alex Albon and
Mm-hmm.
Jack Aitken. Somebody very deserving of an F1 seat as well. Now, the reason I've decided to scrap Nicholas Latifi is because out of the last 4 race weekends, including Abu Dhabi last year, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and Australia, he's crashed in every one of them at some point during the weekend.
That's not a good look for him.
Nope. And as much as I'm not a fan of Jost Capito, the new Williams team principal, he will not stand for that for long.
Hmm.
Like if Nicholas Latifi keeps that streak going by say Monaco at the earliest, which is in like 3 races time, I think actually he could replace him with Jack Aitken there and then.
Damn.
Because like it seems that Jost Capito is very, very no nonsense. And crashing out 4 race weekends in a row in 2 separate seasons, not a good look for you, Nicholas.
Not particularly.
So, My 2023 predictions for Williams and potentially most of 2022, depending on how things go, is Alex Albon and Jack Aitken. Now, this is the first team that I'm keeping the same. Alfa Romeo, Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu will be staying at the team next year. Like, they've currently got no reason to move either driver. They're both doing brilliantly. Valtteri is definitely taking up the role of team leader, and thank God he deserves it. And Joe has gotten off to a very good start. So, unless he completely drops off the face of the earth, I think the Alfa Romeo team will remain the same next year. Now, moving on to number 7, Aston Martin. And Lance Stroll will be at the team because his dad owns the team and he's probably not going to get rid of his son.
Yeah.
I can imagine. But I think we'll be swapping out one German for another. And I'm going to make that prediction of it being Nico Hülkenberg. Because, as we know, Nico Hülkenberg had to substitute for Sebastian Vettel in the first 2 races because he had the dreaded coronavirus. And Nico loved it. Even though the car wasn't great, he was relishing being an F1 again. And Seb, well, as I've mentioned over the last couple of weeks, he's getting old now for an F1 driver. And if the car stays as bad as it has been this year, I have a strange feeling that Sebastian Vettel could, very unfortunately, retire from the sport, which I think would leave an open door for Nico Hülkenberg to take a permanent race seat at Aston Martin. How that could go, I'm not sure, but that's who I'm predicting for my 2023 Aston Martin lineup. Now,
I see what you mean with that.
Yeah, it seems the most logical thing to me because Seb won't stick around for long if the car is going to be doing nothing at all, which currently it pretty much is. Anyway, number 6, AlphaTauri. Now, this is gonna be a tricky one. Yuki Tsunoda will retain his seats at AlphaTauri, but I don't think Pierre Gasly's going to be there.
How come?
Because his contract actually ends at the end of this season, I think. And Helmut Marko has said if he doesn't end up back in Red Bull next season, he's probably going to lose his ties with Red Bull completely.
Oh, damn.
Because he is, frankly, an astonishing driver and is too good to stay at AlphaTauri for his whole career. So it is possible that he could be taken up by another team entirely in the future. But I'm predicting that for Pierre, next year he will do what a lot of drivers have been doing lately and taking a sabbatical. So he will take 2023 off and 2024, well, see what happens then. But who I think could replace him at AlphaTauri is probably going to be F2 driver and very good friend of Yuki Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, another Red Bull Junior. And I've seen Liam's races. He's good. He is really good. In fact, potentially in a couple of years, he could be in, 2024, he could be in Red Bull. But that's for 2024, 2023 at the minute. So my AlphaTauri predictions for next year are Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson. What do you think of that one?
It's a reasonable one. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Now, for Alpine. My predictions probably not going to surprise many people. I'm thinking Esteban Ocon will remain at the team. And surprise, surprise, Oscar Piastri. Yeah, I think Fernando Alonso potentially could retire again at the end of the season. and this time for good. Although I'm not too sure. Like I know Oscar's going to take Alonso's seat eventually, but I can't quite tell if it's going to be next season or 2024. So I'm going to hedge my bet slightly and say next year. Now, I'm going to be honest, this one could be wrong. I'm going to put that one out there. I could be wrong, and it could be the year after. But at the moment, I'm saying Esteban Ocon, Oscar Piastri, 2023 for Alpine. Now. This is where things actually get really complicated. Yeah, this is where things get difficult.
How
Ferrari. So? Ferrari. Here we go. Now, remember how I said Mick Schumacher would not be at Haas next year?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. And that reason comes with a red car.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm predicting that Mick Schumacher will fulfill his father's legacy and take up a race seat in Ferrari alongside Charles Leclerc. Yes, Carlos Sainz, I think, as I mentioned last week, is going to leave Ferrari. And there is a reason for that as well. I'll come back to that later on. But yeah, I think next year Ferrari will have Leclerc and Schumacher, and I think the dynamic is going to change at that team. As currently, Charles Leclerc is quite obviously the number one driver. However, we have a Schumacher coming in. And I think the name alone will probably flip the dynamic of the team in Mick's favour. Like, I can just feel that's how that's going to go because, of course, I know Mick isn't Michael. I know that for a fact. But Ferrari will definitely push him to be what his father was and potentially even beat his father. Like, I definitely think Mick has potential to break some, if not crazy enough, most of his father's records. As for all, it's a bit too soon to tell, really, but I think he has definitely potential to break some of his records. So yeah, I think next year's Ferrari lineup is going to be Charles Leclerc, Mick Schumacher.
Seems reasonable, again.
Yeah. Now, you thought things got complicated with Ferrari? Oh no, Now, I'm not going to lie, the next team has a couple of outcomes. Hear me out. Outcome number one. Carlos Sainz, leaving Ferrari, returns to McLaren. That's the easiest way I can see this going.
Yeah.
So, the easy option is for Carlos to return to McLaren and reunite the bromance with Lando Norris, which I would love to see. The other option, now this is going to make you scratch your head. Another returning driver to McLaren, Lewis Hamilton.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's a reason for this. There is a reason. Now, as we know, Lewis, of course, started off his F1 career at McLaren for his first, good God, 6 seasons. Yeesh. That feels like forever ago. But, of course, as we also know at the moment, Mercedes, not doing so hot. They ain't doing great. However, McLaren, I will admit, seems to be making a lot more progress than Mercedes are. Like, let's remember, in the first race of the season, in Bahrain, McLaren were very much at the back of the grid. However, in Australia, the race just gone, they were very much up there. I think they were in the top 6.
Yeah.
Let me just fact check this real quick. Right. In Bahrain, McLaren finished 15th for Norris and 14th for Ricciardo. Oh, by the way, I should say Daniel Ricciardo, for my predictions for this to work, is probably going to have to retire. Just wanted to get that one out of the way. But yeah, it was 14th and 15th for McLaren in Bahrain. Now, in Australia, it was 5th and 6th.
Oh.
They made jumps quick. And Lewis is probably going to like the look of that because there are now rumours circulating that he could potentially, if not retire entirely, leave Mercedes and go to a different team at the end of the year. And I think the most likely candidate for that is McLaren because of how quickly they've made progress over those first 3 races. They've jumped up like 2/3 of the grid.
Damn.
So the easy option, Carlos Sainz returns to McLaren, or the crazy option, Lewis Hamilton returns to McLaren. Now, for Red Bull. Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull. Again, this one has 2 outcomes as well.
Oh, right. Oh, joy.
One stays the same. Sergio Perez. No, sorry, 3 options. Yeah, this one gets a bit weird. So, option 1 stays the same. Sergio Perez, Max Verstappen. Jobs are good and done. But we have 2 other options. And both of them, I will admit, do involve a certain Mr. Gasly.
Right.
Yeah. Now, Sergio Perez, he is quite old now for a driver. He started in 2010 or 11. I'm going to say 11, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. And given that Sergio Perez definitely seems to be very firmly, unfortunately, in second driver status at Red Bull, I feel as though he may retire at the end of the season and leave the sport. However, Max Verstappen could very well do something similar because, as we know, this year, that Red Bull isn't great, let's say. And you know, Max, he wants to be winning, especially now that he's reigning world champion.
Seems suspicious, but sure.
And as so far, he's only won once, and the only time he hasn't won, he's not finished the race altogether.
Right.
And Helmut Marko has said there is a very big escape clause in Max Verstappen's contract, so if the team does take a bit of a downward spiral, like it is right now, he is fully within his rights to just leave the team.
Yeah.
And if that car doesn't improve, I can honestly see that happening. Because Max obviously will not want to stick with a team that won him the World Championship one year and the next can barely finish a race. At which point, I think, in that situation, Pierre Gasly would come in to partner Sergio Perez and replace Max Verstappen. So, I will admit, the most likely option is that Pierre Gasly takes a sabbatical next year. But if one of those 2 Red Bull seats does come up, I think he will end up taking them.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the potential 3 outcomes for Red Bull next year. I'm really not sure. Again, at this point in the season, for these, it's too early to tell, really. But those are the 3 options I have in my head easily at the moment. Now, Mercedes. Mercedes. Unfortunately, yet again, another multi-optional outcome for this. Yeah. And one of them is really gonna confuse some people. I'm not gonna lie. There will be some people scratching their heads on one of these options. Now, option 1, much like with Red Bull, things stay the same. Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, 2023. Done. But I do have, two other options, not three. Option number 1, Lewis Hamilton retires. To be honest, both of these options rely on him either retiring or making that move to McLaren. Option 1, Lewis retires. And at that point, I think Nick de Vries would get a promotion from Formula E to Formula 1, replacing Lewis.
Oh.
Yeah. As he is currently Formula E World Champion, I think he'd be the most likely candidate to replace Lewis if he straight up retired. Yeah. Now for the third head scratcher option.
Alright, ready for my head to be scratched?
Yep, good. Right. Say this move to McLaren does happen for Lewis and he replaces Daniel Ricciardo. That would leave Carlos Sainz without a seat. Unless he decides to go to Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yep. And now the entire F1 community have raised their eyebrows and are currently either scratching their heads or smashing them against a wall. Yeah. Like, that seems... It seems like an absolutely insane outcome, and honestly, is the one that I'm least confident in for obvious reasons. But I fully think if he leaves Ferrari and can't get back into McLaren because Lewis is there, it is in the realm of possibility that he could take a Mercedes seat. And the reason I say is that it's in the realm of possibility is because he's in Formula One. That's very much yeah. That's my very much outlandish what the hell theory.
It's a theory. I got to admit that is definitely a theory.
What do you think of it?
I'm hoping that's not the case. That's all I'm thinking.
But could you imagine if it was?
If that is the case, and you've predicted that,
that would be insanity. Yeah. Yeah, I'm... Yeah, I honestly think that is my most outlandish and unlikely theory, so please, especially do not take stock in that one. The other ones, maybe consider, but that one you can pretty much throw out, but if I'm right, I will be laughing for like a month.
If I'm right, you owe me chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
If it's the one theory you want to chuck out, I'm going to make a profit off of that theory somehow.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, those are my F1 predictions / theories for the 2023 grid very, very, very early on. Some people may call me mad. Am I one of those people? Yes.
Yes.
But I think I could be right on at least most of them. I think the solidarity of my predictions kind of stop at like either Ferrari or Alpine. Like
Yeah, I can see
it's at that
that.
it's at that point they become a bit more outlandish and oh my god, is this man insane? Like up to that point, fairly realistic. But yeah. We'll see how the rest of this season goes. And I'll probably come back to this stream when the 2023 grid is fully announced and to see how I did.
Yeah.
And either take a victory laugh or just cry at how dumb I was.
We'll do both.
Well, you never know. I could be half right, half wrong.
That could work.
Still, though, if my Carlos theory is right, I will literally laugh for a month straight. That would just be insane. Yeah. So that's that. So, well, anything else you want to talk about in this stream?
I don't actually think so this time.
Surely something I've missed.
Only thing
There's
you've
got to be.
missed is stuff with Moon Knight, but that's usually during the week.
Yeah, that's it
I
for
mean,
that now.
you could always just do a short one today because it is Easter.
That is incredibly true, I suppose. Yeah, I think that is going to do it for this stream. Around about half the size that it would be usually, but it's Easter, and honestly, I will admit I didn't have much to talk about tonight. And the F1 section went on for a bit longer than I was expecting, even with my 2023 grid predictions. Yeah, so I think that's going to do it for tonight's stream, guys. So don't forget to, if you're watching on stereo, follow me on here at Astounding Cameron, and follow Roxanne here at Roxaruni. Or if you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The sub button will be just below the video title. And don't forget to check out Roxanne's YouTube channel at Mianette, which will be in my link tree, which will be in the description below my link tree. There we go. While you're there as well, check out Frost's YouTube channel and his Instagram, as well as Roxanne's website. And above all of that will be my link tree with all my social medias, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Stereo, if you're not here already, and TikTok. And that's going to do it for this stream, unless...
As the random fact of the day, the Easter Bunny legend actually began in Germany.
Really? Really?
Yeah. Easter Bunny has no real connection to the holiday. The origin of the Easter Bunny dates back hundreds of years, beginning in the pre-Christian Germany.
Pre-Christian? What in the...
The actual bunny, which was a hare, was said to be the symbol of the pagan goddess of spring and fertility.
Wow, wait. Wow, wait. It's not even a rabbit?
It started off the hare and then it turned into the Easter Bunny once Christianity spread across Europe.
Wow. Okay. Huh. And with that absolutely mind-blowing fact, I will see you all tomorrow with another YouTube video, and next week with another stream. Goodbye.
Bye.